Aloha mai kako. Let's begin with the breath. Hanumai. Hanuaku. This prayer is of seeking the joy that belongs to you. Ulia wike kumua ke ala. He ho ailona no yaona kupuna. Lehi awi ke o nauna pau ole. O ya no hele pili pa'a. Vili ia me ke aloha. Aloha e, aloha e. Aloha e. And 2 claps to close. Mahalo.
Hi everybody, we wanted to share with you the 10 aims of the Still and Moving Community Center.
Okay, belonging. Here we cultivate supportive space for genuine connection. As human beings, we thrive in caring, safe, cheerful community from infancy to our final days. As we seek to make this experience available to all who wish to partake.
Well-being. We nurture the well-being of ourselves and each other as whole human beings, body, mind, heart, and soul.
3, moving mindfully. By moving mindfully, as well as giving and receiving therapeutic body work, we enhance our physical, mental, and emotional health while making even deeper healing and progress possible.
Self-direction. We recognize ourselves as self-directing agents, each with an inherent ability to shape our forward path, each developing the skills and steadiness needed to navigate the challenges of daily life.
Number 5, and this is one of my favorite ones, self-awareness. We cultivate meditation, maintaining continuity of consciousness both in stillness and in motion, whether alone or together, thereby raising our self-awareness.
We all belong here.
We do, we all belong here. Well, so welcome everyone to today's roundtable conversation. We are embarking on something new, and actually I think something that we have been growing into more and more over the 15 years of Still and Moving Center's existence. I was realizing, actually I was being interviewed the other day, and thinking about how even though I had, with my parents, been part of a little fellowship. It was a Unitarian Universalist fellowship. Once we moved from that city, when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I never had a sense of belonging. I never had a place that I felt as if I were embraced by a whole. And I remember in high school, junior high and high school, knowing Jewish friends as they were going through their bar mitzvahs and their bat mitzvahs, and you know, they got to be embraced by a whole community of generations of all these different levels, celebrating them as they were going through, you know, an important life passage. And I thought, well, maybe I should become Jewish, because then I could be part of one of those communities too. But I think it's more than that. I think it's probably more than that. But I think when I first started Still and Moving Center, it wasn't just about having a place where we could all go and exercise. I think really it was a much deeper level about having community. And I had been living here on the islands for 9 years prior to opening Still and Moving Center, and I had never was meeting the kinds of individuals that I have gotten to meet ever since. I mean, just inundated with wonderful, wonderful people since opening this place. So I think it always has been meant to be, and has certainly grown to be, a community center already. And so what we're doing right now is coming together, I think, really to formalize something that is already in existence, but just making it someplace that has the proper label on it to function the way I think it could work better moving forward. I was on my 70th birthday in December, just kind of looking at different parts of my life and looking at, especially at, like, what is it that's lined up to move ahead into that future sustainably. And all three of our kids, they're married, they have jobs, they have places to be, they're all in community, and they're moving forward. In a way, Still and Moving is my fourth kid. And I looked at it, and it is not self-sustaining. It is still extremely reliant upon mom and dad. And our family construction company, you know, that's covering the rent and teacher pay as needed, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And so just really wanting and feeling as if this place deserves to move forward beyond the time, which I hope is a very distant future from now, when I wouldn't be involved. I mean, I can only imagine being involved for years and years more. But I really want to think into the future now and get it set up in such a way that, you know, this is a place that will carry itself and many, many others forward in community into a very distant future. So the thought that has been gestating and is really now coming into being is this idea of creating Still and Moving Community Center and creating it as a nonprofit. So as a nonprofit, it means that the whole community that enjoys it and is nourished by it and has already been giving so much of people's heart energy to this place already, will have that chance to grow and thrive into the future. So that's what we're doing. We're making it into an official nonprofit that everybody can be a part of. So what we wanted to do is, this is still the visioning stage. We've got our application into DCCA. I can't remember what the name of that department is.
Commerce and Consumer Affairs.
Yeah, Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs. We've got our application in, and it's going through its steps. We want to find out what Still and Moving Center has meant to each of you that we will pull forward into that future. We will be talking about our forever home, but I think what we'll do first is I'll introduce those of us who are here as our initial board of directors. Currently the starting president, Renee Tillotson. Mark Morisaki is Doris Morisaki's husband, and Doris, raise your hand. And he's currently our vice president. Doris is part of the board of trustees. Kelly Fraser, here in the pink, is our treasurer. Sandra Moreland is off island and in a different time zone right now. She's our secretary. Our cultural advisor is Mary Bird, who's Kumumalia's mom. She's raising her hand there. Doris, as I mentioned, is on the board as our ambassador of Aloha. And Kumumalia and our our hula teacher, and Dustin Hara, our general manager, are our advisors to the board and have important paid full-time management positions here at Still and Moving Center, and will have into the future for Still and Moving Community Center as well. In a way, not a whole lot structurally in terms of our programming and so on do we envision changing. Nevertheless, we want to call forward, all that is best from all of you when we hear from you. The first thing that we're doing as a campaign is to find our forever home. And the reason for this, from the standpoint of sustainability, is this is what we have been doing for 15 years. That's the rent. That's the lease money for 15 years. And to go forward into our future sustainably, let's find a forever home that is ours. Yeah. So Kuma Malia and I have for a long time dreamt of what such a place could be like. Of course, we saw beautiful building space. I mean, look what we have now already. Why would we settle for anything less than a beautiful space like this? But we also imagine it being on property, on grounds that has greenery. We can imagine having outdoor space, perhaps covered, where we could perform, maybe pathways, places where one could sit and have a quiet moment, places that we could perhaps grow the kind of plants that we need for lei making or for la'au, lapa'au, traditional Hawaiian healing. Just really beautiful space. Also a place with plenty of parking. A place where the neighborhood is used to having people coming and going. And this is no big deal for them. And so with all of those kind of considerations, we also want to be as close to town center, if not in town, as possible. So we're not visualizing some place way out in the boonies somewhere. No, we want it close. So different kinds of space have come to mind. Coming as I do from Kaneohe, I'm always driving down the Pali Highway through Nu'uanu Valley and noticing, oh my gosh, we've got temples and churches just filling that valley. I wonder if one of those might be available. Who knows? I mean, wouldn't that be perfect space? And we're dreaming big. Last Valentine's Day, we were gifted a baby grand piano, seemingly out of the blue, but Dustin worked hard to manifest that, but we did. It came from the old Willow's restaurant, for those of you who are local might know. They were gifted it, they gifted it to a military family who gifted it to us. So we have a feeling like my dad taught me just before he passed a couple of years ago, Renee, anything is possible at any time. So I'm taking that to heart in terms of us finding our forever home. And I think it's kind of going to be like it takes a village to raise a child. It's going to take a community to find a forever home for our community center. So we're really counting on all of you and who you know and what you might, ideas that you might have in that regard. So that's our first campaign. Is this the time when we get to have them talk?
Mm-hmm. I think
Okay,
so.
all right. So I'll let you do that.
Okay, thank you. So everybody, we just would like to know what has been meaningful and precious about Still and Moving to all of you. And I would love to hear that. What has been meaningful and precious. And I think we'll start just briefly with the board members. And so we've got Kelly right here. Meaningful and precious.
Well, I mean, I think that
Can we highlight us even more?
I think the overwhelming thing is what Renee has embodied here is the community. And when you walk in, you just feel the community. And everyone is welcoming and everyone is welcomed. And it's just so delightful to have that type of feeling. You don't get it very often in many places. So.
Thank you. Much appreciated. And then we've got Mom there. We can ask you. What's
I
been
agree. Community is number one. But the other thing that struck me is the variety of activities that the center offers. Because if you don't, if hula's not your thing, then Nia might be something moving and fun. So I really appreciate the variety.
Thank you. Thank you, Mom. How about you, Doris? So kahiki aloha.
Aloha, everyone. Definitely community. Gosh, I just have made so many friends at Still and Moving Center, and not only friends, but friends that are outside of my age group. So you make friends with young people, people my age, people older. I think it's a wonderful thing across all ethnicities. So it just tickles my heart when I see two people who may not have been friends had it not been for Still and Moving Center. I think, and I see them go off to go have lunch together. And I think it's that kind of those friendships. Oftentimes in adulthood, it's hard to sort of connect with people, and this place has really, given us a lot of opportunities to do so. For myself, my personal growth has just been amazing. I always say that Renee and Malia, they see potential in people that, we don't see ourselves. And so just grateful for my own growth over the last 10, 12, 13 years that I've been there.
Thank you. That's beautiful. So again, what has been meaningful and precious to you, and what would you like to see moving forward into the future? So I see that we have Miku here with us. Aloha. I'm not sure if there's still a lag here, but if you'd like to just have anything to add, you are welcome.
Bring that connection is magically odd. But I just want to share my love for all of you and the amazing experience that I've had at this place. And I just have so much gratitude. So I'll leave it at that. I'm not typing into the chat in case my audio was being very strange.
Thank you so much. We're so glad to have you with us. Mahalo nui. And Krista, you've been here from the beginning. So what has been meaningful and precious that you would like to see carried forward into the future?
Thank you, and hi, everybody. Well, the continuity, for one thing, different phases, different seasons. My kids, especially my younger Violet, took classes. We came for satsang for many years. It was our like Sunday thing. Different classes that I've like gone really into. So lots of cycles and change and seasons, but then also for me, the continuity is Nia and the Nia community and having the most amazing space to teach Nia. When I was teaching before Still and Moving Center, I was teaching at Manoa Dance Studio. It was, and at the Honolulu Club, of course, which it was awesome. But it was dingy and there was linoleum, and I said, I really want to teach someplace beautiful. And like the next week, Still and Moving Center opened, and so going there to teach was just that was precious. And the floor is precious, and all of the experiences, the ecstatic dance and the many classes and trainings and just knowing so many things happen especially in the barefoot ballroom. It's like steeped into the floor. It's a really meaningful space to me. So yeah, that's what stands out off the top of my head. Also, the visitors, I think that was kind of like a surprise. The, ability to be like an international hub for workshops, people who come through, trainers like Debbie Rosas and having White Belt, being able to host those kinds of special trainings and events, and really seeing it as an international hub has also been a surprise, I would say, and cool.
That's beautiful. And I think that harkens back to your original dream was to be a hub
Yes.
in the Pacific for
Yes.
people to come.
Yes, it's just rather than I had been invited to become a NIA teacher trainer and travel the world giving different trainings to folks around the world, and no, I've landed here. Let the people come here. Mm-hmm. And so I saw this place as a pulsing hub of life force energy, of movement teachers and trainers from all different practices, from all over the world, and students coming to this place. Now that has meant, because of that vision, we've had to say goodbye to a lot of people. And it's always a little painful. However, so many keep coming back and back again. Mm-hmm. So it's the blood's recirculating through the heart, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Thank you. Maybe we'll come into the space, or
I wanted to call on Tracy because Tracy was our insurance agent ever since before we opened our doors. So she's been with Still and Moving the whole time too. Oh, I know she's got a problem with her.
Aloha.
We got it.
So there is no floor like the Still and Moving floor. Hands down, like Krista said, that mango floor is amazing. I think what is great about Still and Moving is the exposure to the different things. I would have never known what Qigong is or Aldoa, and the ability to practice online, I guess through the COVID experience, is really good. Mm-hmm.
Always covering us, and I'm so grateful that we really haven't had to use you. I mean, I think we hold really safe space. Yes. And always, thank you for always being there for us, though.
Mm-hmm. The one thing I have to mention is where Renee used to teach at the YMCA on Nuuanu. They're going through major development. Not a lot of funding, and so the existing structures are going to be completely redone. And I don't know if there's any opportunity to somehow interface with that.
Any idea? Out of the box. This is what we need. Lots of ideas. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Thank you so much. Certainly it's close to town.
Mm-hmm. How about in the space? Gilad, something meaningful and precious about Still and Moving you'd like to see moving into the future?
Well, first thing, when I started, I think with Renee 3 years ago, maybe it was 2.5, 3 years ago.
I don't know.
Yeah. The welcoming was just, outstanding. Kind of gave me a little home for my art here. And, I didn't quite understand, what the idea is. Is this studio going to shut down, or?
Well, eventually we want to find our forever home.
Another place.
Yeah, some place that, we own and we can, but there's like, we have a long-term lease, and we've always renewed it, so like there's not a pressure. It's just this wanting to be sustainable into the long-term
Right, I understand
future.
because I'm going through the same thing with my business. And the contemplation is always, do you keep feeding it or do you do something else? Do you find another way? Because to keep funding a place, right, which is what essentially is happening, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't have to just be one family that's doing the funding.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when you make it into a nonprofit, then everybody can contribute, and it's a
And-
tax deductible donation, and yeah.
Then it would be in this location possibly?
Mm, probably somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
I mean, we really would love to have grounds, have green space, and I am thinking into the very long-term future, and I'm very aware of, global sea levels rising, and we are at sea level.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine us being in higher ground.
Higher ground.
Mm-hmm.
So can I ask how much longer are we planning to stay here?
Well,
We
just
don't know.
as long as it takes us to find our forever home.
Forever home.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we'll need to find it, and once we have found it, and we found out if it's going to be gifted to us, or we're going to, do a fundraising to get it, then no doubt it's going to need some kind of, accommodations to make it ready for us. So we're not seeing this as happening overnight, It's not here today and we're gone to somewhere else tomorrow by any stretch.
Right.
We're in a really, the name of our construction company is Prometheus Construction. Prometheus was the god of foresight. So that's what we're doing. We're using our foresight to cast forward into the future and create a future for ourselves that we can move into with great deliberation.
I think one of the overarching goals is, as Renee said, they're leasing here. If Still in Moving Community Center can find a forever home which is owned, then there's no lease money, and the ability to sustain it moving forward is more realistic.
I see.
Yeah.
So upon wherever or whenever that happens, and whomever shall contribute and help us to make that happen. Yeah.
I want to call on Jess, if I may. I know Jess woke up with a dream this morning over there in New Zealand, where it's now already Sunday.
Yeah, hi everyone. Just saying, forever new home in New Zealand. I could help make that happen. If you guys think of that. Yeah, I haven't been able to join classes for quite a while. And then last night I dreamt Renee was in my dream. And we were signing a contract for a new place, and there was a dove that flew through, and it was all very harmonious and peaceful. I woke up and I thought, wow, and there was a text from Renee saying, why don't I join this meeting? And I thought, well, that's two pretty good reasons to join. So amazing. Still a Moving Center for me has been just the most beautiful travel companion. So like life travel companion. The times that I've come have been at varying stages of like working through things, and what I would get out of whatever the class was, and it was a different one each time, or sometimes the same but in a different point, was exactly what I needed to be my companion at that time. So just, I don't know how you pull that off, but I was very grateful for that. And also just a beautiful combination of the masculine and feminine qualities. Like you guys have such a disciplined, structured, consistent way of showing up, which is very grounding and super helpful. But then there's this fluidity and receptiveness and love that's also present. And I feel like that's quite rare to have those in harmony and feeling very balanced. So grateful for those too.
Mm-hmm. I'm grateful for that as well, and I'm super grateful to have both Dustin and Malia as at my side as we move forward into the future. It feels so balanced to me. Who else? Who's
So
inspired?
again,
to
these are just things that you found to be precious and meaningful here at the center that you'd like to see moving forward. Olivia? Great to see you. Aloha.
Aloha. Hi, everybody. How are you guys? Good to see you all. I was at the center earlier today. I taught, my name is Olivia. I teach kids aerial on Saturdays. And I've actually been with the center for 5 years now as a student. I started off as a student. And what's been really meaningful to me from like the first inclination of Still and Moving Center, which was from another teacher. Um, I remember I was driving to the studio. I had signed up for my first aerial series, and my car broke down on the highway. My like windshield was kind of cracked, and I think like the hood of my car had just flown up on my window. It was awful. It was awful, right? And while I was dealing in all that with all that mess, Robin Shepherd called me asking if I was coming to the class and if I was okay. And she helped me get a tow. And I think that it's the care and the loving kindness of the people at Still and Moving Center that I think is the most meaningful to me and precious to me. I think Hawaii can be a very transient place. People are constantly coming and going. I have came and gone myself several times, and truly. And I think being able to come back to your center and be center, which is like I think it's a dual meaning for me. Coming back to the center of self, and then coming back to the still and moving center, and I think what's also been meaningful is the incorporation of all of the elements. At Still and Moving Center, we've got the manglewood flooring, we've got the beautiful fish pond in the middle of the center. We've got, breeze coming through the air. Sometimes Dustin will burn some incense or some sage. And I think that all of those elements being incorporated within the center, the sun and moon room, all of these elements, I think really help create that grounding experience and feeling. Um, and I think the last thing I'll also mention is what's precious to me is the how much embracing that's done for people of all ages, of all sizes, of all backgrounds, and from the littlest keiki to the kapuna. I think that we all make up Still and Moving Center, and we will make up the Still and Moving Community Center. And I hope that it has aerial points. I I really hope that there's aerial points at this new place. I love the idea of having the greenery. When you mentioned, Renee, Nu'uanu, when you first mentioned locations, Nu'uanu was the first thing to pop up. Nu'uanu is a beautiful area, and it's tucked away. It's quiet and it's peaceful. And I believe that there are places more like that. I'm glad that we're holding this vision for the future. And I feel like I've grown as a student and now as a teacher. And I hope to continue to grow alongside you all. So I'm happy to support, especially with getting the word out as well. Dustin, when you write that press release, I'll give you the news email to send it to at KITV. And I'm happy to support in other ways as well. You guys have got my love and my devotion. Aloha.
Yeah,
Mahalo nui, Olivia. Thank you so much. And Diana, aloha.
Aloha. Well, I am so excited about this vision and if we all just hold the intention and the vision, it's going to manifest because of the energy that we have. It's very exciting. For me, I do Gems of Wisdom and I do Tai Chi. And I think Gems of Wisdom, we've talked about the movement and bringing together, but Gems of Wisdom is a gem to bring in different cultures, different ideas, the almanac, and to have exchange of ideas with people around the world and have it be an open, safe place to explore who we are and other religions and thought. I've just learned so much, and it's just the most precious part of my week. It's just wonderful, and I love Tai Chi, of course, too. But I really feel that kind of exchange, not just of movement and people, but of bringing together people of different ideologies, because we need that so much in our world right now. And I think Gems of Wisdom is the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diana. Maybe we'll turn into the studio here. Is there anything meaningful and precious that you'd like to see going forward?
Absolutely. Actually, I might be kind of new. I started maybe a couple of years ago. I was interested in Argentine tango, so I'm so happy that you've expanded looking at the world for possibilities of different areas, dance and so forth. So I got involved, and that's where I really felt the community, because it's with the staff. The staff really helped me, because they signed me in to a point where there's more offerings, so I decided, okay, I'm going to get a full membership. I've seen people tell me about these various courses, so I want to try them. Like talk to Dustin about it. Like maybe in the fall, looking to yoga and other things. But I think the community part is really very important, because they're very helpful. I remember I had a flat tire, and Dustin and Mark, yeah, they helped me. They came out and did a few things and asked me what happened afterwards. I said, I got it fixed and so forth. So it's really nice. Everybody's helpful here, and I didn't really understand until really it's the staff. The staff really helped out a lot. So I'm really happy for that, and I would like this to continue with the staff, because they're really nice people. In fact, I got to know a few other staff members, because they ended up coming into the tango class, and I realized, oh wow, okay, they're telling me about this,
and you're loving the body work and the massage as well.
Oh yeah, everything with that, but I'm looking forward to additional possibilities of other classes and so forth. I mean, I know I have to plan things. Like I planned for doing these things for my tango, but I want to look at more possibilities. So I look forward to that. I like to see that in the future, as these classes expand and people mention about, okay, now we have the scenery out there, so that'll be nice too.
Well, I think that you're mentioning the staff is really significant. A lot of places, for example, yoga studios, they may not have very much staff at all, very skeletal staffing of a place. So the teacher unlocks the door, lets everybody in, checks everybody off, and teaches her class, his class, and shuts up and goes. And there isn't that same fabric that Still and Moving provides with staff. And that is part of the cost of Still and Moving Center that is not, borne by a lot of other people. But I'm so glad that you mentioned it so that we can all appreciate it. Because I know what you mean. The teachers come and go to teach their class. The staff is the connective glue that weaves it all together. Yeah.
And we do have those incredible teachers coming and going, teaching those classes.
Oh, yeah. Like this one with Bodies in Motion, who has been teaching this class for over 40 years and on the beaches of Hawaii, on television.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Yes, you have.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, follow along on TV.
A lot of people who are younger were moving with Gilad while their moms were watching on TV.
That's right. I'm humbled.
Thank you. I see we have Miku raising hands. Aloha, Miku. I think Your audio is a little bit breaking up, so I don't know if you, oh, and
No, she's down
I
now.
will do my best. The only thing was wanting to add was something I mentioned from May, is that I'm actually involved in supporting resilience hubs across the Oahu. And Still and Moving Center is absolutely a resilience hub. And what Renee was mentioning about elevation and climate
I
impacts,
can read her thing.
I
Miku,
started
I'm going
reading.
to, we can't really hear you, so I'm going to go ahead and read the text that you sent me earlier today,
Okay, sounds
if,
good.
if I may.
thank you, Miku.
Yeah. Um, okay. Miku has been working for UH, I believe, and she has been helping to create resilience hubs across Oahu. And she thinks it's very synchronistic that we are creating Still and Moving Community Center because she thinks it's a perfect example of a resilience hub. The definition of a resilience hub is it's a place, it's a trusted gathering place or group of people that supports resilience of their community all year round. And then, if there's an emergency or disaster, that same community has a plan of action and can respond. So, the main thing that she would love to see us do from her perspective, I mean, she appreciates everything, but the main thing she can imagine adding to the Still and Moving Community Center operations would be to create a disaster and emergency plan so that if something goes wrong in the immediate area or for the greater community, we're there for everybody beyond the people who just know us immediately. Beautiful, beautiful idea. So this is another thing of, bring us those new ideas, things we haven't been able to do, haven't thought of before. So thank you so much, Miku.
Yes, thank you so much, Miku. Sounds amazing. And Genevieve, aloha, and then Greg after.
Aloha. Hi. So yeah, I just wanted to add, again, echoing the theme of community that I think is really present at the Still and Moving Center. And I feel like I've sort of felt this sort of moving towards a community center for the Still and Moving Center for some time. And I think it's really cool that we're going in that direction. And I think it's really special that it is, because there's a lot of different communities that are created. But it is a community that is focused on wellness from a very holistic perspective. And I think that's really special. And it is also, I think, so inclusive as well. Inclusive, again, in a very holistic way, right? Like inclusive of different spiritual beliefs without shying away from spiritualism, inclusive of different types of people from different walks of life. And I think that as sort of moving into a nonprofit, that will just increase that inclusivity, so that everyone can have access to this very holistic view of wellness. And I think that's really powerful. Thank you.
People have mentioned that once we're functioning as a nonprofit, we can apply for grants, and then we can do special programs for people who we're not able to serve perhaps right now, or they aren't able to take advantage of. I mean, we do everything that we can to make it, available, but there are still some people who can't avail themselves of our services, especially if they can't do SEVA, work trade for us. So imagine being able to, for example, do special programs for people with Parkinson's and have that funded by grants. Or speaking of tango, there is a tango for Parkinson's that's being taught in Argentina. Wouldn't it be wonderful for us to do something like that here? And grant monies could be available for that. But it could also be gifted from the general community as well.
Yeah. Thank you. I think we had Greg, and then we'll move on to Dustin after that. Great to see you, Greg. Aloha.
Oh, hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, all good. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm walking through New York City right now, so it's a little bit late, and the camera's going to be moving while I'm listening to everybody talk. But I think, oh, actually, quick side note: if you guys ever saw the movie Ghostbusters, I'm passing by the Ghostbusters station right now. So the thing that I wanted to kind of add, and I think that it's been talked about a lot now, is like the community and the community aspect of what we're doing at Still Moving Center. I think it's very important for us to understand, like, kind of like the purpose that that actually serves, not just to the people in the room, but to the people that are outside. And we talked about, providing support in disaster situations, but also just the optics of seeing so many different people from so many different places engage with one another has such a value to the community abroad. And that's something that should be owned by the space wherever it ends up being, and actually utilize that connection with other spaces that are across the planet that have the same type of mission, and really like build community farther and deeper, because that might be able to might be a way to expand the reach of what we're trying to do. But that's really it. I mean, I think that the community thing is very, very powerful in this day and age, and it needs to be championed and really, really understood for what it does. There's the exposure points that we're talking about. Seeing different people from different races, from different religions, from different backgrounds, orientations, and all that is very powerful. So to be able to offer a place for that to live and be and have a broader exposure is important. And you guys have done a lot. I mean, I'm pretty new to it, but you guys have done that very well. And I think it's something that needs to continue on. Like Diana said, like in this day and age, it's the most important thing that we can do, really. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Greg.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking us along with you to New York.
Yeah, we're all over the world, aren't we?
Greg is helping to establish a school, an academy that I want to say it's kind of like Education Without Borders. And they have been meeting in Morocco and working with people who otherwise might have very little access to a good education, and then bringing people from all these different, very high level, like professions and artistic abilities, and exposing them to these youth.
Yeah, actually, that's actually a good point. We're basically trying to find a way to reimagine what education looks like. And on the African continent, there's just a wealth of knowledge. There's a wealth of people that don't have access to a lot of education. So of course, that's a narrative that's pushed a lot, and there's a lot of that is true, but there's a lot of very brilliant minds there. And we're trying to make a space so that we can bring people from the outside from Asia, from Europe, from the West to Africa to engage with the students that are there, and they can actually get a
Another
taste.
pulsing hub.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you
Exactly.
so much, Greg.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, and that's what a still and moving can be as well. You know, like it is. You want people to come in to actually experience what all of this is all about, and
Yes.
that's what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Thanks, everybody. So you might be wondering, how can I help? What can I do? Like Renee mentioned, our focus right now is finding and funding our forever home, and then developing it. And so a really wonderful way to help is by using our collective networking together. And so I want us all to think, who do we know? You know, what properties do we know of that could be available? Who can help us? Not only who do we know, but who knows you? Who perhaps has, who do we know that has resources, you know, that wants to put it towards community sort of initiatives? And so I think this is a really good sort of frame of mind for us all to be in as a community together, to find and fund this new home. Of course, like Renee mentioned, as soon as we find a place, if it's not gifted to us, we do want to be able to secure it and get it. You know, once we find something that's available, and whether it's gifted to us, whether we have to purchase it, however we procure it, we will most likely have to outfit it and renovate it to bring it to a level that's going to meet the needs of this bigger and better community center. Not that this one isn't already amazing. We have officially set up our Forever Home Fund. We've opened a bank account. And so we are ready to receive funds to go towards this initiative. And so, you know, that's set up. And we're thinking of ways, not just, you know, receiving donations as we go, but even how maybe we can do some fundraising events or fundraising initiatives that will go towards this fund.
We're also open to ideas and suggestions. There are plenty of people who are thinking of their, you know, end of life plans. They may not have children of their own. They're wondering, okay, I've got means. What's the best way to do something for the world with these means? Well, guess what? Maybe look over here, Still Moving Community Center. Genevieve, did you have an idea along those lines you wanted to share? We're just about to close up here.
Yeah, I just wanted to add in when it comes to fundraising and stuff, and well, grant writing specifically. My mother is maybe one of them, like the most experienced grant writer on the island, and she is retiring from HPU this year. Congratulations to her. And so, yeah, if there's any like support that you might need with grant writing, I could help enlist her.
Oh, yes. Beautiful. Those are the kinds of ideas and suggestions we need. Yeah. So many ways that everybody can contribute. Thank you so much.
Can I share something?
Yes.
I just wanted, chomping at a bit here, I just wanted to say that I am so grateful and in such awe of what you have built. And
it's very we.
You and your staff and all the teachers.
And my husband. I have to really put it gratitude for Cliff. Yes.
I'm in awe of the breadth and the depth of programming. So and in terms of breadth, it's the combination of stillness and moving. You don't find both. You don't find the unity of that in such a wholesome and holistic way. So, and also the fact that the programming is available not just in person and also very effectively online.
Yeah.
So this week I was not able to come to class in person, so I just zoomed in, and it helped immensely. And the depth, I am so impressed by the depth of expertise and knowledge of all of the teachers. There was one more thing then. And then your vision of what I see is a campus forming. It's just so healthy, and also I see a deeper, based on your vision, a deeper connection to nature.
Yes.
Think of all with that campus, with a lot of greenery, trees, flowers. And then to Doris's, I'm echoing Doris, because my experience with community here, I've made many strong friendships from my classmates. So, thank you.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much, Jean.
And talking of community and contribution, we wanted to share.
Yes.
If you want to explain.
The gifts are already coming in. Surya Kumar, who has done all of the copper art that you've always seen on the walls of Still and Moving Center, including our beautiful logo, the swish with the dot, that's near our front door, has just gifted us on May Day with this beautiful piece. It's a little bit difficult to make
It's
out.
difficult to see it online.
But could you kind of point out the different aspects of it, Dustin?
Point it out.
Okay.
Well, why don't you point it out?
Okay. So this is an overarching tree, which is, I think, very sheltering, which is very appropriate for this place. And then Shiva, the Lord of the Dance, that we have upstairs in the Barefoot Ballroom, you know, in this position. This is Shiva seated with his wife Parvati. And then, so this is very much that yin and yang, you know, the strong masculine, but actually she's extremely powerful feminine too. And then this is their son Ganesh and their other son Kartikeya. Ganesh is the one who does the most work with the least effort. He's also the one who puts obstacles in our path.
That sounds pretty good.
Right?
The most I need to figure that out.
Oh, well, that's what we do as community.
Oh, that's true.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
And then he also is the remover of obstacles. So at the beginning of any endeavor, a prayer would always be given to Ganesh to bless that endeavor and remove all the obstacles. So this was a very important and also very apt piece for us to get right at the beginning of our launching of Still a Moving Community Center. Thank you all so very much. I want to tell you about, yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Our next, we are having another meeting. This is the third of our roundtable conversations, the third and for right now the final of our roundtable conversations. Just to introduce you to Still a Moving Community Center and those ideas. On May 30th at this same time, at 4:30 in the afternoon, we are going to have another meeting to talk about the structure of the nonprofit and Still and Moving Meditation Fellowship. Oh, I just mentioned a new phrase. Yeah, Still and Moving Meditation Fellowship. So is that like about 21 days from now, 3 weeks from now, we'll have another gathering, and we won't go over all of this same ground again. We'll talk about what's the structure of the nonprofit will be, and about Still and Moving Meditation Fellowship. So just a little something to pique your interest. And it's so wonderful of all of you to attend. I'm sorry not everyone got to say something. If you want to put it in the chat, we do want to honor everybody's time and try to be as close to closing promptly as we can. So thank you all so very, 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 very much.
Mahalo nui, everybody.
Hello. And if you want to stay later, we can stay later, but we do want to close the meeting officially. But if you have something you want to share with us, we're very, very open to it.
Mahalo nui.
Yeah, mahalo.
It's like birthing a baby. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, it is. It is.
Congratulations.
Yeah. We're somewhere between pregnant and birth. I don't know quite where we are. We're somewhere right along.
We're in the quickening.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, the quickening is when the baby really starts to develop.
Yeah, yeah. And it's going to take a community.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom. Thanks for coming,
Bye,
Kathy.
Canada.
Is there anything you wanted to say? So great to have you.
Thank you, Krista.
Aloha,
Bye.
Krista.
Love your Kermit the Frog.
Hi. Am I
You on
muted?
the 30th.
We hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I went online just so curious about your vision. And this is quite overwhelming. It's very special. What I get from Still and Moving Center, I've never stepped into your studio for the past year, but been online. But so much of it comes through online. And what stirs within me is the spiritual. It really hits my spirit. To echo Diana, gems from the wisdom traditions really speaks to me and is so enriching. So I hope that continues, as well as your other programs. I just started Qigong this week, Feldenkrais this week, and I've done one meditation with Tony Bonici, and it's just also wonderful. And I've done hula with Malia one time last year. Thanks. So I hope that all that continues. It's the spirituality that sticks with me, and your vision is it's just amazing. It's just I just didn't know how a nonprofit would work. I've admired a lot of nonprofits. I support them, and I read all about them and all that. So that grant idea is wonderful. That mother can help and all that. As you say, higher ground and the caution for me, maybe someone check before getting the property is to check the flood zone maps and the tsunami flood zone maps, because you just never know where if a property is in those zones.
Yeah. Well, we, as I told you, we have a family construction company, and we're doing outdoor construction. We're working now. We've just finished repairing the landslide at Waimea Bay, and now we're working on the rock slope above that. So we're kind of very aware of, environmental considerations.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, that's a huge project.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
It's our great honor. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank
We're all
you.
connected. Thank you.
We are.
Thank
Aloha.
you, Kathy.
Thank you. Bye. Aloha.
Bye.